The cipher. It's my cipher. My truth and my cipher. Oh, we got a whole lot to talk about. And I don't even think I need any bottles for this one. What did I name this stream? We whole lot of shit to talk about. You know, because people don't care about stuff, but they sure do talk about it a lot. They sure do talk about it a lot. You know, people say, you're beating a dead horse. I was well prepared to move on. There's some subjects I wanted to talk about. Let me see if I got, there's some trolling going on. Not with me, because I have self-esteem and not delusional. Don't suffer from delusions of grandeur. Other people do. That's why they think they have trolls. They're called criticisms. But if you want to call it trolling, if that's what helps you sleep at night, that's perfectly fine. I was prepared to let this topic, but we're not just going to talk about this, but I was prepared to let this topic kind of put it to bed. And I don't know, people just seem to love to talk about it. Bigger reviewers than me are now talking about it. Like I said, I was about to let this dead horse, let it lie and not keep beating this dead horse, but he's not dead. The horse is not. The horse is still very much alive. It's Reaper's home. It's Reaper's video from his birthday bash. Yeah, let's see what I named the video. We'll kick these topics off one by one. Luca, Turin, trolls, decants, alphas, and Fragcomms reviewers fight back. They fight back. What's my sin of the day? I got my sin of the day here somewhere, since you guys love the decants so much. My sin of the day is actual John Paul Gaultier's Le Male Elixir. I get some similarities between this and Baby Cat. I think this is John Paul Gaultier's Baby Cat. Welcome to the cipher. What is the cipher? A cipher is a cipher, and I'm a cipher, and it tells me peace. Does that sound like I'm intelligent? You won't know because you're a bunch of dummies. The cipher. The cipher. Woo! I'm telling you, this cipher guy. When I go back and look at his videos, I'm gonna tell you something right now. Where is that fucking bottle? Okay, we are gonna have bottles today. Sorry, decant guys. We're gonna show some bottles. I saw a review from the cipher of Absolutio Parfum, Navitus. And he was spot on. He did a great video. He did a great couple of videos. When he just talks about fragrance, he makes great stuff. When he blabbers on about a bunch of other stuff, his streams are mostly 50% talking about fragrances and 50% talking about how great he is, or at least how great he thinks he is. Yeah, I was talking to big beard and bow tie, and we was building, we was collaborating. Like, what? Just knock it off. We need a fragrance version of the old I only own a Wii U videos. I'm telling you, finding big time reviewers to also back me up and say reviewing decants fucking sucks. It's just amazing. It's the I only own a Wii U of the fragrance community. Just one by one, they're coming out the woodwork. They're like, I don't do decants and shit. Sebastian, they're one by one, they're coming out. Sebastian, Ashton, Bowtie Fragrance Guy. How many more? You guys tell me. How many more guys, big time reviewers, do you need to come out and say reviewing decants is fucking stupid? How many? Give me a number. Is it 10? Do I gotta wait till 10 come out before you guys are like, maybe that's not a good idea? It is fucking hilarious. But let's start off with the topic. And if anybody has a link to where I can find this, I guess, review or a essay or thoughts from Luca Turin. If you don't know who Luca Turin is, join the club. I don't know who the hell that is either. I only know that he wrote this book that all these fragrance people have. It's called like Perfumes, the A to Z Guide. Le Parfum. It's translated from French to English. And I guess he took old Eugene's. Eugene, the channel Eugene. I forgot the name of his channel. It's Eugene. Eugene made a fragrance. He made a whole line of fragrances. Le Abstraits. I have it right here. I'll spray it in this decant so you guys feel better. You know what? I don't have to. I actually have one. His samples are affordable if you want to go try his fragrances out there. I stand by them fully, 100%. You smells good. There you go. Apparently this big shot, Luca Turin, he tried this particular fragrance called Decants. Can RXL afford Range Rider? I have no idea what that is. That a gay porn? I'm not interested in that, John. Not interested in your weird movies. Luca's shit review is behind a paywall. Oh, yeah, I heard about that. Well, I can't knock him for that. You know why? Because you got a lot of e-beggars. You got a lot of fake reviewers in this community saying, "Oh, I'm so good. I'm a real reviewer." Of course I beg for money. I should get super chats and get for money. Get money from my viewers. Isn't my time worth money? And I always say, look, your stuff's, quite frankly, it's not good enough. If you're so confident that your content is good enough to generate revenue, to generate money, and if you think you deserve money for your time, why don't you put it to the test? Why don't you put your stuff behind a paywall and then you'll get the money that you want if you're good. And you won't have to beg for anything. You'll just have that paywall. People will pay you. Then you'll see what your content is really worth. And guess what? Nobody wants to do that because their content's not really worth anything. But Luca Turin his content is worth money. That's why he was smart enough to put it behind a paywall. Now, I wouldn't pay for it. Would I put my stuff behind the paywall, even if I was that good? No, of course not. I wouldn't. But he put his money, well, your money. He put your money where his mouth was and put his stuff behind a paywall, and people are paying for it. But anyways, the fancy guy, he shit on the fragrance. He took a big old fat dump. That's why I kind of wanted, if you guys know where it is, you guys say it's behind a paywall. I wanted to read some of the comments, some of the stuff he wrote about Decants. He said it smelled like cheap. He wrote it off like a rack store fragrance. He said it smelled like an old man that wears too much cologne and that it smelled like chemicals. He went off. He went off on Eugene. And Eugene, let me see if I could find his reaction. You guys know where his reaction is. I seen it on Ramsey's channel. His reaction was just I already kind of liked him, but if I didn't, he would have gained a new fan. Just his insane reaction, his hilarious, entertaining reaction to this. I don't even know what to call it. I think what I've heard about his little review sounded kind of fucking stupid, to be honest with you. It sounded like this comes from a YouTuber, so I'm just going to write it off as some cheap, like influencer fragrance. Yeah, I don't see anything in his videos. I don't see anything in his shorts. His reaction was hilarious. His reaction was basically, "Aha! You're talking about me!" Woo-hoo! I loved it. True, I mean, stuff's out there and it's getting to the people. Where's this stuff at? But yeah, it was funny. I'm gonna tell you guys a little bit about the fragrance. Decants equals a vial of crack. That's literally what they are. They are your little vials of crack for the addicted. Addicted to what? They're not. They were addicted to fragrance. They have a big old bag known as a bottle. They're addicted to the attention, to the likes. Oh, like me, watch my videos. Yeah, Eugene's a totally different breed. He's a different character, but it is what it is. But I'm gonna tell you what I thought about this fragrance. It's actually my scent of the day yesterday. Uh, very green, very green. As far as it's smelling like chemicals, no, no. It actually smells like a photorealistic green. I go to these nurseries and I pick up whole truckloads of trees with full leaves all over them, and it smells green, piney, like herbaceous. There's a scent in the opening I can't quite put my finger on. Almost, I've been to a location where I've smelled this certain scent. It goes away like in like 20 minutes. I just couldn't put my finger on it. And it's an amazing fragrance, photorealistic. Uh, and then in the dry down, I get this like it's like an incensey smell. There's a little smoke to it, like a smoke that's put out, by water, like an ashy smell. I get like this incense smell, but it's not incense. Some people said it smelled like the holidays, and it's like kind of like cinnamon, like a green, leafy, herbaceous, and also earthy, but with like some spice, like cinnamon, and it's beautiful. It's actually clove. It's a very amazing, like clove, probably in there. And the more it dries down, the better it gets. So it becomes from an art piece, still an art piece, to a very wearable fragrance. I wore a little bit too much of it yesterday. I think I had like 6 sprays on. The fragrance is a goddamn beast. And the more it dries down, the better it gets. I recommend just spraying a little lighter, because when it gets lighter, you get those subtle wafts of it. It's a god tier fragrance. It's not something I don't think a designer guy should just jump straight into it. You just probably start off on some Manceras and some Parfums de Marly's, but it's a gorgeous fragrance. I don't. I know in the opening you kind of get like an old school, like a vintage smell, but this is a niche smell. This is like something that would come from like Amouage or something. It's pretty damn good. And I don't know this guy like you do, so it's not like I'm just one of his fans coming to his defense. Honestly, what I think it is I think Luca Turin sells books. He sells his content. This is just another thing he uses to get attention. I had his book in the cart of Amazon, like $18, I think. And I thought to myself, do I really want to read a whole book from this idiot? I said no. I picked another book about the occult of feminism. That's right. I'm so disinterested in this idiot's take after thinking about it and what he said about this fragrance and how just off he is. And I said, you know what? I think I'd rather read about feminism. A caveman like me would rather read about the history of feminism than his dumbass takes on fragrances. So, Luca Turin, I don't know who he is. I don't want to know who he is. If you're talking about Eugene's fragrance, I have his other one, a full bottle, Delure Exquisite or whatever it's called. This is actually a sample of Bella May. And I thought it was too feminine for me. But see how it's almost gone? My wife wears it. Smells amazing on her. And I'm such a big fan of Iris. I could probably wear this at night. This is not something I would really wear out. But I'll probably pick up a bottle of this and I'll have all three. Eugene is sick. He needs help. I think we're all a little touched in the head sometimes in this community. 21K. Oh yeah, for the fragrance. Yeah, I'm not doing that. I don't know if Black Bond seems like a fragrance guy, but he was friends with Dogman, which was shocking. You don't remember Black Bond used to put these videos up where he's like, "You guys have no life. Look at me, I'm swimming." And the Dogman, he's had some struggles. What up? What up, Darren? Yeah, but that's my little take, my little rant on the Luca Turin and shitting on this fragrance. I mean, the fragrance. I could go on a little bit longer about this fragrance. It's an amazing. The ingredients, the quality of the ingredients is like through the roof. I love the bottle. I know it looks plain. It might be a stock bottle, I guess. I love the bottle because I love looking at the juice. The best caps, by the way. Look at how the strength of the magnetic cap on it. I love the logo and everything. I think it looks pretty classy. You liked the lovers, huh? People go nuts for that lovers. Nuts. I don't know what it is. Revtech USA smells like donuts and whatever they clean the equipment with at what Planet Fitness. Has Luca ever showed up on streams before? I have no idea. I did not know Sebastian had a new fragrance. I must reach out to my cipher so that he can decode the notes of the new Sebastian fragrance. The cipher. I need that fragrance in my physical realm. Let's just get to the cipher. Let's just get to the cipher. And now he doesn't know what the cipher is, or it doesn't even matter if he knows it. Just his audience just hears what he's babbling and doesn't question it or doesn't even know what the hell he's talking about. They just nod their little heads. But we're going to talk about the cipher, and we're going to talk about trolls, and we're going to talk about the stupid advice that he gave TLTG reviews. I don't normally like to talk about the trolls and the trolling of TLTG because it gives the trolls attention. And I think 99% of the people in the fragrance community have never seen a troll, have never had trolls. I think they suffer from delusions of grandeur where they think I'm such a celebrity and a big shot that these people are talking negative about me because they're trolls. They're losers. They have nothing to do. It couldn't be me. It couldn't be anything I'm doing that would get criticism. There's something has to be wrong with them because I'm like a Kardashian. And of course I have haters. I'm doing so amazing in life. And of course I have haters. Just like Kim Kardashian. So for the 99% of you that think you have trolls, you're fucking stupid. You're fucking delusional. You are not celebrities. Even you bigger channels, you YouTube channels, you fragrance channels. If you were on let's say network television, cable television, with the size of your audience, you would be canceled the day after the pilot. That is how little of an audience most of you guys have. With that being said, there's one person that does actually have trolls, and it's TLTG reviews. I don't know why. But he then got some stupid advice from the Cypher because he knows how to deal with the trolls. He eradicates them like a festering mouse. I won't let the mouse fester. I eradicate it with my eradication. I don't want them in my physical realm. I don't want them decoding my cipher. I'm the cipher. Ooh. Let me explain to you why it's stupid advice. Are you guys ready? For years, Ross ignored the trolls. He didn't feed the trolls. Did that help? Did that do anything? No. So he's already done this. And you're sitting there telling him, you should just don't feed the trolls. Just ignore them. Just, block party. We're going to have a block party. John, you know what the block party is. You know from Hard 8 Times, his block party. When somebody says, it's nothing. I like blocking people. Woo, welcome to the block party. I just block them and I love it. It doesn't affect me. When they say that shit, it means they're the most sensitive, bleeds between the legs motherfuckers. And we have a history of this. We've seen this time and time again where they do that. Let me break it to you people about trolls. Ignoring them? You think you're ignoring them? He's tried ignoring them and it doesn't work. So your advice from the minute it left your lips was fucking stupid, and it doesn't work. It's already been done. So it's stupid. So what do? Do you take his other advice? Say, I block them. I eradicate them. They're not gonna get a reaction from me. Newsflash: if I'm in the comments and I'm trolling you, and you stop the stream, or I see you reading my comment, moving the mouse to block me, guess what? You've just fucking reacted. And you gave me the best reaction ever because I know that I mind fucked you so bad that you stopped what you were doing. You stopped your train of thought to worry about what the fuck I was saying in the comment section to block me. You didn't react publicly. You know how many times we've seen this and laughed at people like Review Tech USA? We see them. Sometimes they wear glasses. You see them actually in their account blocking people. Yes, the blocking is a reaction. So you can't really say, I don't respond. I just block them. Yeah, you just responded. Oh, what kind of... And then they try to dismiss the trolls. They're not even trolls, by the way, and we'll get to that in a second. Then they try to dismiss the trolls even more because the trolls will just make another account. So this is why another reason this advice is stupid. A troll can make another account. What kind of loser would go in and make a whole nother account just to leave a comment? Are you guys aware of how long it takes to make another account on YouTube? You go to your your channel, and then it says like make new channel. You push the button, and then it makes your account in your Gmail, and then you just go in and put it to whatever name you want. It takes, I don't know, a minute. A minute. But the trolls don't bother you, right? Of course not. They don't bother. You just put them on the block party. You just eradicate them because they don't bother you. By the way, this is why I have never... He's only had a couple topics that he talked about that I gave a shit about enough to try to watch his streams. And one time he did invite me on there, but unfortunately I was working. And there was another time I may have tried to join his stream, but two things happened. Number one, when I tried to leave a comment on his stream, guess what it said? Subscribers only mode. You must be subscribed for this, certain amount of time. Why would he do that? Remember, the trolls don't bother him. Why would he do that? Because the trolls bother him. And I seen a clip and he was like, these last 3 days, the trolls. Wait a minute. I thought you had the cure. I thought you had the solution for the trolls. You've been here for years. If you had the solution for the trolls, why have they still been coming? Why have they affected you for your last 3 streams to where you had to do this and do that and do that? Because they don't bother you, right? They don't bother you. You know who trolls don't bother? Me. You know why? So I don't see them. Do I have trolls? No. If I did, I still wouldn't know. I still would not the fuck know because they really wouldn't bother me. That's the difference. I can tell the difference because I went back and I said, "Do I have trolls?" Let me go back to my most, controversial, the video that upset people the most. Let me go to that Mason Alhambra and let me go down the comments one by one and see the trolls. Now they've said stupid things. Uh they said downright batshit crazy things. Are they trolls? Uh are they living their lives, thinking of a way to disrupt me, even if they have to make things up to do it? No, they just disagreed with me. They're just critics. And they said a lot of stupid shit. It's just because they're stupid. It's not because they're trolls. And even if they were, the shit they said was so stupid, it entertained me. It made me laugh. I mean, you don't have trolls, you dumbass. You do not have troll. You are not that special. You are not that fucking important that you have trolls. Stop it. I eradicate them. I'm going to give you guys the best advice for trolls. It's not the best advice, it's the real advice. And as far as Ross is concerned, I'm not going to give him advice. If I did, he probably wouldn't like it because I'm honest with people and I respect them enough to tell them the truth. But the truth I would tell him would be this: what can you do about the trolls? Well, you can do a couple of things. You can put your streams on, or I say your comments. You can put your comments on members only mode, where if they want to comment, they got to pay. So if they want to talk shit to you, they have to pay to do it. And then somebody would be inclined to say, well, that kind of blocks innocent people off that didn't do nothing and makes them pay. And, not a lot of people, not as many people are going to join in and be in the comment section. Yeah. Kind of the messed up part about the solution. Not everything in life is rainbows and sunshine. You kind of want to limit the trolling, you might have to do that and take a hit in viewership and kind of screw your loyal audience that may not have the money to pay or doesn't want to pay. Yeah, that's life. It's not there's not a perfect answer all the time, just waiting at your feet. So that's one kind of answer and solution. But here's kind of my main solution, my main answer to this. What can you do about it? Nothing. You can do nothing. That's right. There's nothing you can do about it. It's the internet. Gotta deal with it. You could I don't want to be mean to people, but you could go away. You could not be on here. That's a good solution. If this YouTube and internet was really fucking with me, I would just not be on it. I'll go places where I don't want to be, where I'm not comfortable. Like there's some shitty apartments, in town somewhere, and they smell like a dumpster. I don't just say, "Oh, that's where I want to walk through. That's where I want to spend my day." No. So what can you actually do about trolls? Nothing. They're part of the internet and part of YouTube. It's not your fight anyways. YouTube is not your platform. It's not yours. This platform is not mine. I don't own YouTube. I don't own Google. I don't own this comment section. It's my account and I could do whatever the fuck I want with it, obviously. It's not mine. I don't own it's not a physical thing. I don't have a right. Not a right in the Constitution. There's not a YouTube amendment in my Constitution of Rights. And it's hilarious. Eros Energy, I might. I'm a fan of the other Eros, fragrances. I might have to check it out. Like I checked out O Forte and warned everybody what a shit fragrance it is, and now everybody's. It's funny. It's a funny phenomenon. When none of you guys were able to smell it, these reviewers were saying, "Oh, it's pretty good. Yeah, it's the new Dior." You had no idea that I watch RTU? Oh, you might want to tell them who I was, John. If anything, I'm disappointed that I was not included in the downfall of Review Tech USA documentary, Netflix style documentary, as I was involved with a lot of these things in that documentary, and I have my own insights to them. For instance, when RTU quit his job, because he said he was in retail. Come to find out, he worked at Best Buy. He worked at Best Buy. Remember, he was saying retail, and I said he worked at Target. Everybody called me a hater. They called me a troll. Well, it wasn't Target. It was Best Buy. And they fired him. But I'm a troll, right? We're just trolls. And we're just being disruptive. No, we can't be critical or honest. We're just trolls. No, he worked at Best Buy. He was fired. He was fired because this man named Review Tech USA was fired from Best Buy for not having enough product knowledge of the new products. Review Tech USA is who's Review Tech USA? I will tell you. He's the first reviewer that I called out for being a fake, who went on, became hugely popular, generated a bunch of money, and I don't know how many years later it is, 10 years later, he's been exposed as being everything that I've said he is and more. And more. Everything I've said about this guy has came to fruition. And I'll go down the entire list. I said his working at retail was Target. It was actually Best Buy. He got fired. I said he lived at home with his parents. He actually did. He then made a video of him moving out of the laundry room that he lived in, and his twin-size bed, which had no box spring, was on the floor. But remember, I'm a troll, and I was just hating, right? He then made a video saying, aha, I moved out. That was true. I then got a info message. I think it was the guy in that documentary that reached out to me, said, Review Hell USA. He said, no. I have this other video. He didn't move out at all. He just moved into a different room. Look at the walls. Look at the flooring. He's in the same house, the same parents' house. Lo and behold, he never moved out. He just moved into the guest house. He never moved out of his mom's house. Then one day he came to his channel. And he said, I'm a homeowner. I just bought a home. Really? Congratulations. Yeah, he just bought his parents' home. What he did was he went to his parents and he said, look, why don't you sell me the house for way less than it's worth? And all the equity, mine. He essentially offered them a reverse mortgage. He ripped his own parents off for all the hard-earned money that they put into their home and said, look, you sell me the home at a cheap rate so that I can get all this money off it, and I'll let you live here for free. Which is what he should have been doing anyway, since he lived there without taking their home. He should have went in and said, you know what? I got some money now, and you've let me live here so long. All the bills, I got you. That's what a man does. But he didn't do that. I called him out. I called him out. That also came to fruition. Now he's selling the house. Remember how he said, you can live here the rest of your life and I'll pay the mortgage as long as you sell it to me. Well, now he's had financial troubles. He's selling the house right from under his parents' home. Who's going to pay for where they live? He took their house and their money, ripped them off. Just like I said, he met a girl. He met a woman on a dating app where he was 400 pounds and it said body type average. Called him out. I called him out saying he's working out and trying to lose all that weight. He's lifting no weights. He's just doing the elliptical. You're not going to gain no muscle. You're just going to get fat again. Lo and behold, how did he lose all that weight? He had a weight loss surgery, which he lied about, then got caught. But that's not the point. The point is, he wasn't doing what I told him about how to keep the weight loss off, because I don't know if you could see, I never went back to 290, did I? Kept that weight off. Good, like 8 years now. What does he weigh right now? A ton? Somebody roll him back into the ocean, that fat fuck. Because he's fat again. He didn't listen to what I said. I warned the guy who helped him, Alan Roberts. Remember Alan Roberts? I warned him. Alan Roberts cut him off. Every single thing I've ever said about this guy ended up being 100% fact. Remember, I said, why would you quit the job to do YouTube full time when you just make minimum wage? You're not going to have any Social Security. You're not going to have any benefits. Lo and behold, his little YouTube bubble busts. Now he's going broke. Just time and time and time again, I called him out, and I was called a hater. I called him out when he finally met a woman. And then one day he said, I got 3 kids. I said, wait a minute. You met her a year ago. Those aren't your kids. I'm a hater. I'm a troll. Lo and behold, he never married her. The kids were never his. Now he doesn't say my 3 kids. He just says my kid, the one that actually had with her. Again, exposed. And here's a little throw in I'm going to give to you from that documentary about him. And by the way, Kino Casino, I know everything in that documentary because I was fucking there. I was there at every fucking step. I used to be Review Tech USA's favorite troll until the shit got too fucking real for him. I was there. Blackbuster Critic, that guy in the documentary, I know that guy. I know his brother. I've debated his brother. His brother's name's Shokio. I know them both. I was the one that called out, since they want to use Blackbuster Critic's video about how he went and bought that camera. See, I'm not an e-bigger like some people. I bought this with my own money. And he did own them. He did own Review Tech USA. But they forgot that part of the documentary, you know, the one that I called out that people said I was a hater, where a year later he came to his audience, the one he was trolling Review Tech USA about being an e-bigger about. He went to his own audience and said, yeah, I had this child out of wedlock. Things are getting messy and I want to fight for custody. Will you guys donate money to me for my legal team? He went and e-begged himself. I was there for all of it. I was there for every part of that documentary. I was there. The big cheese thing, the big cheese crusaders were the ones feeding me a lot of this information. All the big cheese shit I was there for, where he ripped that guy off for 200 fucking bucks. Every part of that documentary I was there, and it's just fucking hilarious. Kino Casino, I am available. I am available to give you any information you need about this slob, this huge slob, which, by the way, cries about other people talking about his family, when before any of this, before he even knew who I was, he would always bring up my wife. He would always bring up my children, the ones he didn't even know I had. He would just bring them up. One day he had a debate. Him and Arbiter 365 had a debate, and I was in that Skype call, and I said, I will leave so that you guys can have a debate. And he said, no, I want you here. The reason he wanted me here is because so he can talk shit about my family, and then I could bust back at him, and then he could say, oh yeah, I lost the debate because they ganged up on me, or I lost the debate because RXL was there to troll me. That's why he did it. But guess what? I kept the fuck quiet, and he got fucking reamed up his butthole in that debate. Yeah, that happened. That's not in the documentary, is it? That's who Review Tech USA is, by the way. The very first reviewer who I owned, who doesn't review tech, so should change the fuck his name. He's the one that kicked it off. And all you got to do, people, if you want to look more into it, is type in Review Tech USA and just see how he's getting absolutely roasted, destroyed. His life is in shambles. His family is in shambles. You know, I've heard a lot of good stuff about the Killian. I may have to check it out. Boz. What up, Kevin? Kevin O. You know, there's another interesting topic. I couldn't squeeze it in here. Maybe next time. The topic of maceration. Oh, it's been a full plate. You know, oh man, it's something I've been thinking about, and man, it fucking sucks. I went to this. It's a different channel. It has nothing to do with fragrances, and I had left this comment a long time ago about how women women shouldn't be able to vote because they don't get drafted into the into the military. Right? That's not my thing that I made up, but what I did mention was something. I forgot what it was. Yeah, that whole topic, the house, they should get drafted. I brought up that they, you know, why don't they get drafted if they're equal? And now people are talking about it, and it really makes me sad that I can't even leave comments anymore without like people taking the comment and stealing the comment and just making a shitload of money off my ideas, which is why I really got to be careful about going to other channels now and making comments, because this ain't the first time that's happened. People are stealing my shit. Bigger channels are stealing my shit. And you can see even now, a lot of these big time reviewers are talking about my topics and my subjects. We've all seen Mr. Smelly do it. We've seen all these guys. And I'm going to cut down on the commenting and giving these guys free ideas that they then in turn steal and make a crap load of money off of. I'm going to make sure they're not in my physical realm. Speaking of the physical realm and the cipher, you know, he said something stupid, and the Ross will never say anything negative about his buddy. I don't know why Ross is friends with some of these fucking goofballs. A lot of these guys are goofballs. He looks at Ross and he goes, yeah, two alphas like me and you. Let me make it crystal clear before we get into this topic. I am not an alpha. I'm more of a caveman. Just a guy. A man. Hold on, let me finish that maceration thing while Kevin's here, because this is another topic people are now talking about. How the maceration people, you guys, you need to let it macerate. That is not fucking real. That is not real. It's real to Kevin when he's whipping a batch of something up. It's real to Kevin. To you, when you get it from him or anywhere else, it's already done. It's not real. You're not doing anything. Putting it in the fridge, by the way, is the opposite of maceration. It is the opposite, you dumbass. You're turning it back into a fucking solid, or at least you're using the methods in which it's, you know, turns to a liquid from solids and macerates and shit. But it's not gonna, the process ain't gonna go backwards, but you're doing like the opposite shit of what maceration is. It is not fucking real. Spraying it and putting it away, and you're not macerating anything. The maceration is fucking done. Time and time again, guys like Kevin and Mikey Dinsmore and perfumers, owners of indie companies have all told me behind the scenes and laughed at you fucking idiots who think you're macerating shit. You're not. and there's a woman. She's a scientist, a fucking scientist. And this is why I'm talking about it now, because I've been talking about this for years. I've been upsetting people on the Dua fucking Facebook, telling them it's not fucking real for years. And Claire, Claire, I don't know her YouTube name, but her name is Claire, and she's a scientist, and she just made an amazing video about maceration. I think she got a couple of things wrong, but she made an amazing video about the topic. I suggest you guys go hunt that down and watch it. But she said just what you're saying right now, Kevin. Most of the fragrances, they're macerated, unless they're a new release. They're freshly mixed. You kind of macerate them to the point where they're sellable, right? And then you that might take a day. It might take two. Some people, they don't know how long it takes, so they just have this method of, I'm going to wait 30 days. She spoke about how Frederick Mall has a specific process for like, how Frederick Mall has a specific process for one of the fragrances, and they do this for the 2 weeks, and they do this, they macerate it for 30 days, and then they do this, and they, it's all a process. Does it take 30 days for it to macerate? No, but why guess at day 26? Just if it works at 30, keep it at 30. It was an amazing video that she made saying just what you're saying now. And I don't understand why you guys that are making the fragrances are telling them this. Not just me. If they don't want to believe me, that's fine. But you guys keep telling them this, and they can't get it through their thick fucking heads. Once the customer, it's already macerated. It's because they don't know. They're confusing maceration with like maturation or aging or whatever they want to. They're trying to. This is the society we live in. Or they're doing one thing, and they want to call it maceration, so they just want to change the words. Look, words have meanings, right? They are intended. They have definitions. They're intended to map these meanings and this thing. They're supposed to map onto reality. They're supposed to fit what happens in the real life. And you say, no, I don't like that. I'm going to change it to what I feel. Oxidation, yes. It is not maceration. It's a different process. It's a different thing that you don't have to worry about because you don't make the fucking fragrance. Let Kevin worry about that. I promise you, when it's done, he'll send it to you. You don't have to do anything else. Now, the aging, that's a little different. That's also it is a process that actually happens. It's just a matter of fucking science. When I seen she said she was a scientist and about to speak on a topic that upsets Fragcom, I knew I was in for a wild ride, because that's one thing Fragcom hates is science and facts and reality. So when I seen her about to spout off, I said, "Oh, we'll have fun with this." But yeah, the aging and stuff that actually exists. To what rate is it? Are you gonna spray it? Spray it, and then a week later it's suddenly aged. Not to the extent you're gonna notice anything. When I tell people, if you don't like a fragrance, just put it away for 2 weeks and come back to it, and you might feel the same way. It's not because some magical fucking aging happened and changed the entire fragrance into something completely good and different. No, it's because you probably smelled it at a bad time, at a wrong time. I don't know if you guys know this, but when you wake up in the morning, you slept, and your olfactory senses, because it's really something that's happening in your brain. You're rested, you haven't been working, you haven't smelled anything, so your smell is like super strong at that point. At the end of the day, you've smelled things, maybe you're outside, you've got like pollen and dirt in them. You're not smelling things the same as freshly showered in the fucking morning. So when I say if you don't like a fragrance, you should put it away and come back to it later, that's because to kind of give yourself a reset, and you might like it eventually. That's all that means. It doesn't mean the fragrance. Yeah, they got so upset when I said they were getting wine fridges and putting their duas in the fridges, like buying refrigerators for the fragrances. So that's the stupidest thing I've ever seen. It's not going to change. It's not going to change much. Not to the effect. Like these guys are thinking it's gonna sit there for a week or a month, and it's gonna completely change colors like a fragrance will do after years. They think it's just going to be this completely richer, different fragrance. And even if it is richer and different, it's probably because like the top notes died off it. It's just, I'm just glad that some people in this community are standing up to stupidity and kind of telling the truths here, the basic truths. Truths are important. You guys got to understand, like, the why do you care? I care because these idiots are out in society, like these morons like Chris CEO. He's out in society. He's behind the wheel of a vehicle. The same roads that your mothers and sisters and children, and he's operating a giant fucking missile called a car on the same roads as me and your family. Yeah, you should be worried about these idiots. Just point him out. Say, look, if you see him in his hoopty, pull over. Like, it's just amazing. These same influencers that tell you how to store a fragrance. You want to keep it around light, keep it away from light. You want to keep it away from changes of temperature. Except when you first get it and you put it in the refrigerator. They're funny. They're too funny. But now that we got that out of the way, we can go over the alphas. The alphas in the fucking fragrance community. Two alphas like me and you. The cipher. I'm not an alpha. EQ's not an alpha. I love Ross. He's not an alpha. Nobody in the fragrance community is an alpha. Most of you have never seen an alpha. None of you in the chat are alphas. None. Zero. You know why? Alphas are fucking rare. They're so rare. They're not just wandering around bumping into each other, making friends. We're collaborating, grouping together. I'm an alpha. Like, 4 alphas just don't randomly fucking group together. Alphas don't even like other alphas. They don't even hang out with them. You're not alphas. Alphas, I promise you, alphas are not making fucking videos on YouTube about perfume. I guarantee you that. You've never seen an alpha. You want to know another reason? You've probably never seen an alpha, a real alpha. Betas are all over the place. You can find those. You're going to find those every 5 feet you walk. You have never seen an alpha because guess where alphas are at? They're not on YouTube. An alpha is in some cave in Afghanistan where he begged the military to send him on his 9th straight tour without a single fucking layoff. Not because he's getting money or being rich. It's the military. Because he has this fucking need to wipe out the remaining remnants of the fucking Taliban. I want no family. I want to take out the rest of fucking the Taliban. That's where alphas actually are. The guy that killed bin Laden, he may not even be an alpha. There's probably some guy above him that is. But they're not here. They're not making YouTube videos. If you do want to see one, and they're rare in there too, you might want to go to a fucking federal prison or a state prison. And the guy on top who said, wait a minute, I got to kill 18 people to lead this gang. No problem. Hand me the knife. That guy might be an alpha, but he's also a psychopath. Those two can overlap. But stop with the alpha. You guys aren't alphas. You guys aren't high value men. Kevin Samuels is gone, okay? Nobody's going to replace Kevin Samuels. You're not going to step in and be the Temu version of Kevin Samuels. Oh, By the way, if you guys want to talk about high value men, you always forget the most important thing of of a high value man. They never talk about it. They talk about the suit. They talk about the money. They talk about the women. They never talk about like the most important thing of being a high value man. And if you're going to take anything from this ridiculous high value man spiel, you know, these red pill crap that they've spread around, take this from it. The most important thing in being a high value man is competence. Have you ever heard that from these guys? Competence? No. I've only heard that from Kevin Samuels, and he's passed away, which is why nobody can replace him. Competence, people. Competent, not your suit. Competence. Yes, thank you for stopping by, Kevin. The bathtub perfumer is a joke. It's funny when you bring up like you bring this stuff up to other people that make fragrances and perfumers, and they laugh at Chris the CEO. They laugh at him. They laugh at people like him. But I don't think you know just how behind the scenes some of these people, they don't want to. They don't. Kevin comes out publicly, but a lot of these guys don't. They don't want to be associated with this, this and their brand. But when nobody's looking, they're like, we like what you're doing over there. Wink, wink. We agree with you. We just don't want to say it publicly. That dude that killed Bin Laden is an alpha. You, Mr. Perfume guy, are not an alpha. Samuels with the candles. The candles, the fragrances, the suits, the hard work ethic. I think what Kevin Samuels did is great. And sadly, you got a bunch of fakes now trying to replace him, trying to be the next Kevin Samuels, and it ain't happening. You ain't gonna do it. Sorry. And God bless the rest of the fragrance community, the bigger reviewers, for fighting back about this decant nonsense. And we'll probably end the video with this. This is going to take a minute, but there's a guy in the community. I consider him like to be on like the Mount Rushmore of like fragrance reviewers. People who, when I started watching fragrance videos, I looked up to. I think what this guy does is amazing. I only root for him. Out of every person in my subscription feed, when I see they review decants, I just unsubscribe from them. They have nothing of value to offer me. But there's two people who I have kept in my subscription box that do a lot of decants. One is Bro Sense, because he's just like got the purest heart, the nicest guy. And this is so left field to him, this whole idea of like pretending to be a reviewer or ripping people off or trying to sell them themselves and sell them. It is so removed from anything he's got in his mind and in his heart. He doesn't even understand it. Like I don't even think he would understand what this is about. And so when he makes videos with his decants, he's making them based on passion and his experience and loving fragrances. That's why he's still in my subscription box. And the other is like a legend. It's Brad BP Wool. This guy, he was like doing it even before Robes 08 was doing it. And he made a response video to me. I was honored, humbled. It's always a humbling experience when you see these larger, extremely popular reviewers that they even know who the hell I am, let alone like will come and stop by and drop a comment or give me a compliment. It's tons of respect for these guys. Who's Robes 08? No, my favorite is that comment you left about Ashton. that dude just really rubs you the wrong way, huh? But Brad made a response video. I thought it was awesome. You know, back in the day on YouTube, in the comments section, you could click on the little thumbnail and leave a response video. And your response video, when other people would go in the comment section, all these response videos would be in there. So instead of commenting, leaving a comment, you could leave your own video there and people could see what you were thinking. I don't know why they took that away. Woke bullshit. Like, oh, we're getting our feelings hurt. But that shit was awesome. I to this day, I know like huge YouTubers just because I left a response video and they watched it on their channel. And some of them even gave me shine and like featured me on their channels, my videos and stuff, just from the response video. I love response videos. And I think it takes like a butthurt, sensitive vajizzle to like not like, you know, not even that they like it, to not be able to accept criticism or different opinions. Oh yeah, I see that. Somebody was saying something like, "Ah, you're the Nautica of YouTube." I was like, "Wait a minute, I like Nautica. You bashing poor Nautica? Nautica's my most used fragrance in my collection. It's 100 ml with like half of it missing. You dissing Nautica? What's wrong with Nautica? I'd be honored if somebody said, "You're the Nautica of YouTube." Like, thank you. Yeah, but that's another thing that's crazy. The defending of the YouTuber. How dare you talk about Ashton? We're gonna look at Brad's response video, and I'm gonna respond to it. I made a video about it, but the thing is, I'll make a video about it, and then detractors will leave comments about the points I make. And well, the video's made. What can I do? What can I do other than be in the comment section like Equality Fragrances does, but doesn't admit he does? What else could I do but be in the comment section all day going back and forth with them? And unfortunately, I cannot do that. One of the reasons I can't do that is my phone doesn't get notifications when you guys leave comments. So when you see me in my own comment section, it's actually me going back into the video and checking your comments to engage with you. I'm not one of these assholes that are like, "Are you kidding? I'm far too important and busy to answer comments." No, I'd love to answer them. It's just I don't know what setting I got in my phone that I don't know that they're there. I also, when I leave comments, I don't know when people respond to them. And it's so difficult to go back to somebody else's video and those comments, especially when they're extremely larger channels. And I'm gonna get my headphones. I'm gonna get my notes. Oh yeah, I took notes, and we're gonna run down Brad's video and the points that he made, and I'm going to destroy them. At first, I'm going to destroy it in like the whole argument, like 30 seconds. Then I'm gonna go point by point, Brad. Destroy this whole video. Just hold on a second. like I said, Brad, you're on like the Mount Rushmore of reviewers for me. I got nothing but love and respect for you. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna kick it off. I'm gonna go all the way to the end because this was like for a video of these notes right here, but I'm gonna go to the end and say the best thing you've said in that video. And trust me, the other decant reviewers do not agree with you. I agree with you. They do not. You ended it with this. You said this. You said, I review. Let me get one out here. I review these samples and decants because I'm expecting my audience to not go out and get full bottles. I'm expecting them to buy these samples and decants. So why not review the actual thing that they are interested in to go buy? And that I 1000% agree with you. I think it's the truth that these other guys hide and lie about and don't want to admit. And I wish all these other channels felt that same way, but unfortunately they do not. They do not agree with you. They're ashamed. They're ashamed of the decant. I've asked them, why isn't the decant in your thumbnail? Oh, because it looks tacky. They said it looks, the decant's tacky. That's what they said. That's what they tell me. All of them. They tell me, no, I'm not going to put decant review on there. The very decant that they defend, they're ashamed of. The decant review. I just wish, and trust me, you guys, if you go look at Brad's channel, best thumbnails for these kind of videos because they're him like this. So I'm not being lied to. I'm not being tricked. When I see the thumbnail and it's like fucking, I've seen you with some stuff like Michael Malou. You're like, yeah, I really watch your shit. So when I see him like this with Michael Malou, oh, he got a sample of Michael Malou. He doesn't have the bottle of it, so this is probably wearing it for the first time. This is going to be interesting. His first time wearing Michael Malou. People forget because they pretend to be experts at YouTube, but they don't know. You don't have one title in your videos. You have two. That's why you see the thumbnail with text in it. The reason it has text in it is because it's your second opportunity to have a title for your video. YouTube's algorithm actually reads text. So if you say review of Paco Rabanne 1 million gold, and then in the thumbnail you said, I got this decant, it'll say 1 million gold and it'll say decant, and that's where it'll send your video. So when you say full review of 1 million gold and you have a picture of a bottle that you don't own, you are lying to people. They are specifically lying to people. That's why they have the bottle there. Because YouTube also has software to recognize objects visually, like bottles, like this bottle. Well, maybe not that. It probably won't recognize that. But if I left no title on the video and just had this bottle on the thumbnail, YouTube's algorithm and the little software that recognizes thumbnails will send the video automatically to people looking for Creed. So when they're being deceptive in their thumbnail, they are literally lying intentionally. But I do agree with what you said at the end. I think it's great what you're doing. Now we're going to watch this video. And it is called Why Fragrance Sample Reviewing is Best. It is best. And before we start, I just want to, I still never got an answer. What do we review without having the actual product? So I know a lot of these guys with the decants. If I go to like Louis Vuitton and ask them for that, what they have in their hand, they'll laugh me out of the store. So I'm just asking. Nobody's ever answered that. They just say, "Well, it's the same thing." Like, no, the products have SKU numbers on them, and packaging, and all kinds of things that makes them a product. But let's see. We're gonna start this video off. You should probably change the name of the video, because remember I said I would destroy this whole argument in like less than 60 seconds. Well, here it goes. But then we'll go down point by point. He's got 5 reasons why fragrance sample reviewing is best. Unfortunately, those aren't 5 reasons of why it's best to do those videos for you guys, the audience. It's 5 reasons it's best for the reviewer. Not for you guys, for the reviewer. Like I don't know, like 5 reasons it's best for you to give me super chats right now and pay my phone bill. What do you mean it's not best? It's best for me because then I don't have to pay my phone bill. Yeah, it's best for me. It's not necessarily best for you. So all these reasons that he listed are what's best for the reviewer. None of them are what's best for the audience or best for you guys. So with that, the whole argument is pretty much destroyed because nobody was arguing about what's best for the reviewer. But we'll go through point by point. I don't know why anybody would like are you okay, Mr. Reviewer? Are you all right? Like we weren't really worried about what was best for the reviewer. We're talking about what was best for the audience and for the consumers. But we'll go through point by point. Let's go.
And today I want to do a bit of a response video to our good friend in the fragrance community, RXL Pour Homme. And I've noticed on his channel recently, he's really been going off on reviewers that focus mostly on decants and samples. When somebody does that, recently he's really been going off on reviewers that focus mostly on decants and samples. When somebody does that, I feel personally attacked because that's pretty much my bread and butter right there. The old sample reviews. We got to review those samples. And it's not to say that I don't have bottles, but I have a...
All right, let's start.
Hello, guys. Brad here again. And today I want to do a bit of a response video to our good friend in the fragrance community, RXL Pour Homme. And I've noticed on his channel recently, he's really been going off on reviewers that focus mostly on decants and samples. When somebody does that, I feel personally attacked because that's pretty much my bread and butter right there. The old sample reviews. We got to review.
I love the back. Don't feel attacked because it's not really about the sample or the decant. It's about the 10 other shady things they're doing to kind of hide the fact that it's a decant review or they don't have the bottle. Stuff that you don't do or that's on your channel, so don't even worry about it. So don't feel attacked. You're up here, and all those decant frauds and fakes, they're down here. And one thing you can see right now in this little thumbnail right here down here, Lorenzo Paglia winter fragrances. You know how in your videos you have the carded sample like this in the thumbnail? This is a you can see it says discovery set in the thumbnail. So it's not being dishonest at all. I like Tazo. But you can see the bottles of the fragrances there, but it's a discovery set. So when he does the video, it won't be those bottles. It'll be they look like this. And it's a damn shame because I don't want to see those bottles. I actually wanted to see what the discovery set looked like, the box with the samples in it. I thought that would have been cool, but he chose to go with the bottles. But don't be personally attacked because trust me, I'm not talking about you when I make fun of these decant reviewers. If anything, you should be schooling them on how to do it correctly.
View those samples. And it's not to say that I don't have bottles, but I have a tendency to gravitate towards my samples when I review. And I'm going to give 5 reasons why I think most reviewers should focus mostly on samples and not bottles. So this is my response to people like RXL Port that say, oh no, I only review bottles, don't review samples and decants. Let's start with the cost. Well, the cost can be very hard on the pocketbook and the wallet. You know, new fragrances can, even designer fragrances like going to Macy's, might cost you $80, $90 a bottle. Get into that niche market, we're looking maybe closer to $150, $200 a bottle. Buy 2 or 3 bottles a month, multiply that times 12. You could easily spend a couple $1,000s a year on bottles, and then you're not even going to use them. So why spend all that money on fragrances that are just going to sit around gathering dust on the shelf, just so you don't offend your fellow subscribers by reviewing from samples? So that's number one. The cost. It's very expensive to review bottles. Samples. Now, I'm not saying sample reviewing is cheap either. I would often spend $10 or so for a sample, so that I could still be, a couple $100 a month.
All right, we're talking about the cost of how much it costs to be a review channel, and it's expensive. So, yeah, it's expensive. Yeah, I want to start a business. That's expensive. Things cost money. I don't know why spending less money, investing less into something like a channel, how that makes it better. How that makes it worse. Like a low budget movie, if somebody spends $100 million to make a movie, like it's probably gonna have all these cool, special effects and all these high end actors. When it's a crappy low budget movie, it's probably a worse movie. I don't know how spending less makes it better. Again, it makes it better for the reviewer, not for you. And there's other ways to mitigate those costs, by the way. Should somebody be buying a bottle and never using it? No, you're supposed to use the bottle. That's another reason I bash the decant reviewers. They wear the sample once and just throw it in a box. They don't wear the stuff. And if they do have a bottle, they show it. Say, this is my favorite fragrance of all time. It's like completely fucking fool. They're not actually wearing it. That's kind of the point. I think they should tone it back with a bottle. Maybe if they invested more in the bottle, they probably like take the time to wear it some more. I just wore. This is my scent of the day. I'm not sure how I could. Well, I have the full bottle of this. I could do it, but if you could see, this is my one wearing. Okay, so I'm gonna review it based on like the one time I wore it. If I need to refresh later, this whole thing's gone and I've worn it one day. That's the main issue with the decant reviewers. Of course, they're going to say, well, what about a 5 ml? What about a 15 ml? And it ultimately doesn't matter when there's no air in the bottle and they don't wear it anyway, so they don't really have a reason. But again, reason number one is why it's best for them, for the reviewers, not for you.
Or a couple $100s a year, but versus a couple $1,000 a year is a big improvement. Number 2 is bias. The reason I say bias is because if somebody gives you a free bottle of a fragrance, your tendency is going to be slightly positive. I think people hate to bite a hand that feeds them. So someone says, here's your free bottle of Xerzov, give your honest review of it. You're going to be like, well, gee, if I say it stinks, then I'm going to lose my opportunity to get more free bottles in the future. And even if you buy the bottle, nobody wants to admit that they wasted $100 on a mediocre fragrance. You're probably going to give it a higher score just to pad your own ego and say, hey, look, I didn't waste $100 just to say, hey, don't buy this fragrance, when most people haven't even heard of the fragrance anyway, because it's either brand new or something obscure or some niche fragrance house no one's ever heard of, some clone house. People are going to be like, well, thanks for nothing anyway, because I wasn't going to buy it anyway because I never heard of it. Number 3.
Brad, are you sure you've seen my videos? Didn't I pull out like that $350 fucking Creed Absolute of Venice and say it was a fucking cash grab? Have you not seen Fat Boy Fragrance's video? If he spends $300 on a fragrance and it's trash, he is flaming that fucking fragrance. He's roasting the shit out of it, just like I do. Yeah, people spend their money and some people lie. Not people I'd recommend watching. And a lot of people are honest and say, yeah, it's shit. It's overpriced, trash. I mean, Ross just went out and bought a fragrance that wasn't that good. He thinks it's okay, but he's not lying to people and saying like, oh yeah, $200 for this new Dior Forte. Go out and get it now. Like, he's not saying that. Like, a lot of people, not a lot, because there's the shills and frauds outnumber us by a ton, but the real reviewers are not afraid to spend $300 on a fragrance, and if it's shit, just flame on it, just absolutely destroy that fragrance. I blind bought my last Creed, and if it was shit, they were gonna hear it from me. Romzo hates shits on all kinds of fucking fragrances. Yeah, and then you have, of course, your Oda Ericas, who I remember you said the reasons you loved Oda Erica. That you said, "Wow, she sure does have a lot of Zerjoffs. I hope this just ends up being like a shill for them." Yeah, she's a shill, but not for the free bottles because everybody gives her free bottles. She's a shill because her boyfriend is friends with the CEO of Zerjoff, something that she conveniently leaves out, and that he has a entire Instagram page dedicated just to Zerjoff, and he's kind of a brand ambassador. She tends to leave that part out. Yeah, that happens, but that case in particular is not really the free bottle. It's but the point of the bias, if somebody's so biased that they say, no, I can't take a free bottle because my bias, I'll end up telling you guys that it's good. I don't trust them anyways. Even if those people pull out a decant, I don't trust them anyways if they're that easily influenced. So it really doesn't matter if they're that biased and can't take a free bottle. I don't take free bottles, not because it would bias me. Oh, no, because I've been given free bottles. I don't take free bottles because I don't have the fucking room for them. That's why I tell people, hey, you want to send me stuff? Great. Send me a little sample. If I like it, I'll buy it. Do not send me free bottles. Then again, unless I like it, and then I'm about to buy it, and you want to send it to me, hey, free 99. Nothing wrong with free 99, but definitely wouldn't bias me. Mr. Smelly sent me free bottles, and I can't stand him. I was not biased to the fact to the fact that I couldn't stand him, nor that I got the free bottles. I gave it a fair assessment. I thought they were well put together. At the time, I said they were overpriced, but with inflation, they're quite fairly priced now. And I said they were uninspired kind of clones of something else, which to this day I still stand by. I love the Gravitas Sensei, but they're not really doing much new or different. But at the price, I mean, yeah, they're overpriced, but it's by $20 or something. Like, so yeah, don't watch people that are biased, no matter what they have. If a free bottle is going to bias you, I don't want to watch anything you make anyways.
The longevity of the reviewer. Now, if you look at a lot of the reviewers, they review their fragrance collection, and then after 2 or 3 years, they kind of phase out. They run out of bottles. They're happy with what they have. They quit reviewing, and they disappear.
Hold on, let me stop it right there. They run out of bottles, and they just give up. Nobody has ever run out of bottles. You take the worst decant reviewer. Let's be honest, fragrance dude. I promise you, he's not going to run out of bottles. If he says, you know what, decants are stupid, I'm just going to do full bottles, and I'm never going to buy anything again. He still has enough bottles to make like 3 or 4 years of fucking content. Nobody runs out of bottles and gives up. Would not happen. Could not happen. If I stopped, I'm not even a reviewer. If I stopped buying bottles with 800 bottles, I can make 800 fucking reviews. You know how many years it would take me to make 800 reviews? Then I would make a bunch of top 10 lists, hundreds of top 10 lists. Then, then hundreds of first impressions. If I stopped buying, just like everybody else, I could make content for years and years. Nobody runs out of bottles and just says, well, I'm out of stuff and I don't want to spend no more money. I'm done. Nobody does that. Nobody.
Now, the only exceptions to that, going back to when I started reviewing, would be Mark in the Ribs 08. He's been in the game longer than me, and well, he's a bottle reviewer mostly, but obviously he's put a lot of money into the channel and into his collection.
It's amazing that you talk about Robes 08 when you bring up all the money spent. Let's talk about the money Robes 08 has spent on this channel. I believe he edits it with Wondershare or some other similar program, which is like $100. I don't think he's got like a professional editor. All his editing is done with like these templates that he probably saves in his software. So he's invested a whopping $100, and whatever his camera costs, his channel's monetized, so it really didn't cost him anything for any of that. He didn't spend all that money for fragrances for his channel. Those are just fragrances in his collection. But let's say the videos that he's making right now, those are all free bottles, Brad. Every single one of those bottles that you're seeing right now, he has paid zero money for, none. And that's kind of the reason that I talk about these decant reviewers. They're just not good enough. Their content's not good enough to do what real reviewers do. And what real reviewers do is they're so good. They have either such a big audience or they are so respected. Their word is so, their word is so respected that these fragrance companies will send them products and they bank and they say, well, if he likes it, ooh, we're going to sell a lot of bottles. Or even a company like Max Aroma, whether he likes it or not, they say, well, he's going to say our name during the video. It's promotion. Let's send him some free stuff. So Robes has a deal with Fragflex where they send him returns, full packaging. He then, before they send it to him so that he could decant it out, because that website sells decants. So he does the work of decanting it out for them, and they send him the full bottle, full presentation. He wears it, doesn't even call it a review. He calls it unboxings. And he doesn't do the decants and calls them reviews either. He calls them samples or test drives. So when you bring up Robes, that's not really a good example. But he doesn't actually buy those bottles. His last 100 videos are like free bottles that he's gotten from Fragflex. And I urge these decant reviewers, get good enough so that you can have a deal like that too. And then you can make some real reviews out of it.
And if that makes you happy, and if you have the finances to do that, well, great. But I would never expect somebody to invest that type of money into a collection just so they can say that they're, a relevant reviewer. If you can, great. But, if all you can afford is samples, that's fine too.
Unfortunately, things cost money. And like, if you're going to start a review channel, yeah, you're going to have to either find a deal like that. And there are plants like Melissa National who know nothing, have no viewers or subscribers, and just walk up to a fragrance company and say, hey, I'm starting a channel. You guys want to help me launch it and give me free stuff to talk about? And they do that too. But yeah, it costs money. And that, like, why would I do that to start a channel that's going to make me money later? It doesn't make sense to invest all kinds of money. Like, that's like saying it doesn't make sense for me to invest all kinds of money to get this law degree to become a lawyer. Yeah, you got to invest to do certain things in life, and being a reviewer isn't much different.
So yeah, if you want to be a long-term reviewer, sample reviewing is best. I mean, I review mostly samples, and here I am, the longest active fragrance reviewer in the continental United States. Everywhere but Toronto, actually. So yeah. Number 4, the option of reviewing what you want to review. If you're just getting free stuff, then you're basically just reviewing what somebody else wants you to review. You don't have any, opinion about which one you want. Sometimes they might just say, here you go, review this, please. So you're like, okay, I can do that. But maybe you'd rather review something else. Or maybe you see a fragrance that you want to review, but it's a little bit out of your price range. So you're like, well, maybe I'll just review this cheaper fragrance instead. So with samples and decants, you can always afford to review exactly what you find interesting and want to review. If you find the notes are interesting, in my case, maybe ginger or gin or rhubarb or something that you really enjoy most of the time versus, somebody wants you to review their patchouli fragrance that you can't stand, but it was free, so you'll review it for them. But
when you talk about what's best, yeah, that actually is best because a fragrance doesn't come out every day of the week, every day of the year. So, and most of these guys make content every day. So there's going to be days where they're not reviewing a new release. They have to review something. And why not make it random? But that's besides the point anyways, because reviewers aren't supposed to just review what they like. I'm pretty sure Siskel and Ebert reviewed like the latest movies that were coming out. They didn't go to the theater and say, I don't know about this movie. I don't think I'm going to like it. I don't think I'm going to review it. They reviewed everything. That's the point of a reviewer. If we don't have bad reviews, we're not watching reviews. We're watching infomercials. Yeah, that's kind of the point of the review, to review it all.
so I'm not really into that type of setup myself. And the last thing I want to talk about is number 5, the always try before you buy rule. Should apply to both reviewers and to subscribers. I think if you're a responsible reviewer, you should always tell your subscribers, hey, look, these are my opinions of the fragrance. Your experience may differ. You might appreciate other notes more than I do or don't do. You smell different fragrances. So what I think is generic and boring, you might find exciting and new. So always form your own opinion. Either go to the store and test out some testers, get a sample or decant first, and then you can decide what's worth getting.
That's a great argument against an argument nobody's making. I don't know any reviewer, me or anybody else, that tells people not to sample things and not to try them. I go out of my way to hammer it through these people's heads. Like, you can go to Macy's and try that shit for free, right? Like, you just walk in and they'll let you try it for free. I hammer it home, and a lot of people do it to where it's nauseating at this point, where they have to keep reminding people, try it. Always sample first. Always try. I think at this point we all know to sample it first. But again, I don't know any reviewer telling people blind buy everything. If you guys can point one out to me, that'd be great. I don't tell people just go blind buy everything. I don't tell people to blind buy anything unless it's like some cheap, I'm pretty sure you could blind buy Nautica for $15 instead of getting a sample of it for like $8. Pretty sure that's a safe blind buy. But other than that, I don't tell people to go blind buy or am against sampling. I don't know anybody who is. That's like a straw man argument, like an argument that nobody's making. Of course, you're going to win that argument. Nobody's making it. Yeah, sampling is always good for the viewer, for the consumer, for the reviewer. I'll tell you one thing about Bowtie Fragrance Guy's video. This is another good reason why sometimes it is okay. In these instances should have an exception, but as far as the other 99% of the content the decant reviewers are making, just throw that away. It's garbage. When somebody like Bowtie Fragrance Guy, which was hilarious how he came out and shit on the decant reviewers, he says, the first thing he says in the video, it's literally the first thing he said, I don't like to do videos with just a decant. But this fragrance sucked so much, there's no way I'm buying it. For that, I'll give you all a pass. There's a fragrance so terrible, you say, look, I don't got the bottle because it absolutely sucked. By all means, pull on all the decants. Ross, he defends the decant reviewers. But then when I go look at his channel, It's like a needle in a haystack trying to find a review where he doesn't have the full bottle. So I don't know why he's defending these people. But I did find one in his review of, and it didn't surprise me at all, his review of Creed's, what was it? I think it was Absolute Aventus or something, where he said, I have no interest in this fragrance, of buying this fragrance. So I'm doing the decant. Then he smelled the decant and is like, I'm pretty sure like I'm not going to buy it anyways. Maybe if it's discounted or something. If it's some fragrance that you think is shit, go ahead and make a decant review by all means. But like every video, like no.
Get the sample, and then you can decide from the sample if it's bottle worthy. So since I'm expecting you to buy the sample anyway or decant, so why not have me review the same type of juice that you're going to be smelling for the first time either? So, those are just my thoughts. I think sample reviewing is the way to go. It's cheaper. It gives you a lot of flexibility that you're going to be smelling for the first time either. So, those are just for store and test out some testers.
Look, this is the part I do agree with, because as you can see, the other points were easily dismantled. The whole argument of it's better for me to do it, not for you guys. But this is the part I do agree with.
Get a sample or decant first, and then you can decide what's worth getting. Get the sample, and then you can decide from the sample. Have me review the same type of thing you to buy the sample if it's bottle worthy. So since I'm expecting you to buy the sample anyway or decant, so why not have me review the same type of juice that you're going to be smelling for the first time either? So, those are just my thoughts. I think sample
that's the part I agree with. And unfortunately, the decant reviewers, their audience are a lot of collectors. Their audience buys bottles, and they buy decants too. Obviously, they buy decants and they try them, but they're mostly collectors, mostly enthusiasts, which is why they put the full bottle in there. Why would they put a picture of a full bottle in there for somebody looking for a decant? Like they're not going to a store looking for that bottle. But I agree with you, but they don't. They're ashamed of the decant. And if they took your advice, I think their channels would be a lot better. I think I wouldn't mess with them as much, but they're being dishonest. They're showing you bottles, bait and switch. As good as this is as much the definition of basic bait and switch, as close as you could get to it, is the fact that, and I've seen them not just with the bottle behind them, with it in their hand, like this, look at this, a bottle that they pasted, they photoshopped on their collections, deceptive titles. My favorite is I bought every Parfums de Marly, so you don't have to, with 12 bottles of Parfums de Marly behind them. And then they themselves admit, okay, I kind of clickbaited you. I didn't go buy every bottle, but I have every decant of it. So they know they're lying. They know they're frauding. But that part I agree with. But you have a very unique audience. You don't have the same audience as these guys, these frauds, these liars. And if I was crazy, and if I was so wrong, why are these other larger reviewers coming out and saying things like, I have a decant, it doesn't really count, Ashton? I don't like to do videos or even wear decants, Sebastian. I'm not a big fan of decant videos. Bowtie, many more. Like Robes 08, sampling samples, because that's what he's doing. And you're going to see more. You're going to see more of these larger YouTubers come out and say, no, I don't review fucking samples. What is wrong with you? If I'm crazy, why are they all admitting the same thing? All these larger reviewers. I don't know. Seems like a little old me. It caused a little commotion. Almost, there's going to be a civil war of these fragrance reviewers. versus the Decant reviewers. Chaos. Does Chaos Fragrances do Decant reviews? No. But Brad, this is where I'll end your video right here. Your video. I've already made your video, Brad. Yes. I made your video. You guys didn't know that? I made this video already. What's best for the reviewer? Yeah. You know, sometimes great minds think alike, but yes, Brad, I've made that video. What's best for the reviewer? You see, I made a video about Chaos Fragrances and how he shills products, how he makes fake top 10 lists. He lies to his audience. He bombards you with emails, essentially being a fragrance salesman. He covers up the fact that he's giving you links to bottles that are cheaper elsewhere, but he's telling you that those are the lowest prices, that he's saving you money. Tons of things. He negates to tell, he doesn't tell you that, all the issues that you could have with Joma Shop. He just keeps linking you. All that stuff is best for him. And then I showed his Corvette. I showed his two ATVs, the giant shop that he keeps them in. I showed his massive boat. All the things that are best for him. See, I made your video, Brad. I made a video about what's best for the reviewer. But we all know that the things that Chaos is doing is best for Chaos and his pockets and his bank. He's laughing all the way to the bank because he's doing what's best for him. His longevity, he'll be here for a long time. Oh, yeah, he'll be here for a while because it's best for him. But it's not best for us. No, it is not best for his audience. It is not best for consumers. And I can't wait till the FTC finally starts cracking down on free bottles, fake reviewers, buying subscribers. Oh yeah, there's a law now. Buying subscribers, faking engagement, pumping up like stats on TikTok and YouTube. Yeah, they just passed a legitimate, real law against it. And I just can't wait till the consequences and repercussions enter the physical realm. The physical realm of the because I'm an alpha, so I can tell you about the physical realm. I'm a cipher. I'm an alpha. Yeah. So that was easy. There's not really a good argument for the whole Decant reviewer because they're not actually reviews. But we've beat that dead horse once again. I'm sure somebody will come up with 5, 10 more points. I haven't even really made the point. I just destroyed his points. I haven't even really made the 50 points I have of why reviewing Decants is absolutely horrible. Oh, it's terrible. Absolutely terrible. Let me ask you guys something. I'm going to let you in on a secret. Parfums Vintage sells samples. Parfums Vintage, when you buy the sample, they tell you exactly 3 sprays of this sample equals 1 spray of the fragrance from our legitimate bottles. So I know when I spray it, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I know whether it's beast mode or not. I know the strength. I know the longevity of the full product. Unfortunately, how many sprays of this is a spray of the full bottle of Godolphin? Does anybody know? Nobody knows. Nobody knows. So when they review it, this thing is a weak performer. Is it? You don't know. You don't know. How about this? How many sprays is this of the Abstraits full bottle? You don't know. Creed gets a lot of shit. Oh, Creed, it's a horrible performer. You know why it's a horrible performer? It's a horrible performer because, especially to guys that have a long history with Creed, because the old Creeds shot out like fucking fire hoses. Bah whoosh, bah whoosh. Okay, so they're getting massive amounts of juice, and it's lasting long. But this new crop of reviewers who are reviewing this, oh, Creed, what happened? I'm not getting the performance I used to. You're not getting the sprays out of it either. Yeah, that's one of many things that just make reviewing decants absolutely horrible. Let me go through some comments. Down to 30 bottles. Tried to sell them, just used them and didn't buy for a while. I enjoyed them though. Yeah, that's a big problem. Like people, especially these decanters, of course they buy decants because all they give a crap about, they don't give a crap about fragrances. They give a crap about YouTube. They don't care about wearing them. I stopped buying fragrances for a month so that I can enjoy the fragrances. I haven't made a video about a fragrance in I don't know how long because I'm not feeling the urge to try something new just for a YouTube video. So I'm wearing the stuff that I purchased. This is not my first wearing. I have the bottle of this. I'm just using the sample to get rid of it, to throw it away. So this is not my first time wearing this. It's not my first time wearing it because I didn't feel the need for today to be a day where I have to wear something I've never worn just to pump out a YouTube video. So when I do talk about this, I'll actually know something about it, unlike the pump and dump reviewers that you got now. What's up, Mike? I got pressurized 10 and 12 ml decants. Same thing as a MFK sample pack one. I don't even know what that means. I don't even know how you would know that. It's a shame too because a lot of these companies have discovery sets. So if you guys like saving money, you could buy a discovery set of a Zerjoff for like, I don't know, like $70. And you could say, look, I'm testing the Zerjoff discovery set, which is an actual product that Zerjoff sells. So you are reviewing a product, so it's honest. And you can make like 7 videos out of it. Tons of stuff. A lot of these guys, I know a lot of these guys that do this for a living. They do this to make money. And they say, no, I don't sell my bottles. Oh, but I thought you didn't like that bottle. No, I don't like that bottle. I don't like this bottle. I know you guys want them to just have a decant of stuff they don't like. So why don't you sell the bottle if you don't like it? I don't sell the bottle because I'm going to use it again for more content. This is going to be in a list later. And after that, it's going to be in a different list. And, after that, like that was just a first impression video. I'm going to make a review out of it. It'll be in another video. Just tons. There's tons of uses for it. I don't know anybody who reaches back in and pulls the decant out. And what a waste of money. What a waste of money to buy a decant. Use it once. Throw it away. This is good dolphin. I mean, imagine some niche shit. You paid like $20-$30 for this decant, and then you made a video after wearing it one day. It just goes into a box and you've wasted it. I promise you, my blue talisman is not going to go to waste. It's not going to go to waste. I'm going to keep using it. I use some of these, fragrances constantly. I can't get enough of that Invictus Aqua. If I had a decant, that thing would have been fucking toast already. There's another fragrance too, like just a lot of these fragrances, like Emerald Mirage. I've already went through a decant and now I'm into the bottle. So, and I'm still not ready for the video. So if it was just a decant, it wouldn't have been enough. And then you want to buy, you want bigger decants? Bigger decants costs as much as bottles. Do you guys know that? Like, you think you're gonna get how much you think a 15 ml of Creed Spice and Wood is for your video? Was when you say, what about a 10 ml decan? It's like $80. It's like $80. You could buy a bottle of other shit for $80. Like I said, I was just destroying the points that he made because they were illogical. But I didn't even make my own points of why it's terrible. But yes, it's terrible. But that's okay because I don't mind criticism. I don't mind people that agree with me. I think there ain't no bigger pussies than people who put shit up publicly and then you disagree with them and they say, "Oh, you're a troll. Oh, you liked that Dior Forte? Oh, you're a troll. I think it's terrible. And if you think it's good, you're a troll because I'm a genius. I never get it wrong." I was getting 30% off from perfume with 2us.com. And I was just killing it on those 30 mLs. I was getting 30 mLs of Chanel and Dior cheaper than from Dior. And now they took my code, the bastards. Now my code's like 12%. Like 12% off. It's still a good deal, but I'm not making quite the killing on them 30 mLs that I used to, but 30 mLs are great, especially like for some $500 fragrance. Like, okay, now you got a 30 and you spent 150, just like you would if you bought a Tom Ford or something. Yeah, I almost bought a 30 of Tuscan leather because I have Godolphin and they're so similar. Nothing wrong with tiny bottles either. Creed is out of their minds. Dior is out of their fucking minds with that Forte crap. It is trash. It is garbage. I'm glad this community is shunning that fragrance. You take the price of the bottle, divide that by ml, add in material costs, and that's the price. Huh. What is that? I don't even know what that means. So a price is $100. What are you guys trying to sell, Decants? The price of this is $100 and it's 100 ml. That's $1 an ml. My materials cost sounds like you're trying to package Decants or something. I can only give you drug dealer advice. Go look at somebody that has the similar quality of product as you, and whatever it is, knock off $10. Now you have the best, cheapest shit in town. You'll still make a profit. Why? Because they're drugs. You pay plenty for them. You don't pay a lot for them anyways. You're just racking up the price to some junkie that don't know any better. Yeah, I think I have it back there. I don't know if you can see it behind that bottle of tuxedo, like the Noir Extreme is back there, but it's 100 mil, so it looks like a little midget model. Looks just like the other bottle, just a little midget version. $100 bottle would be like $18. A 10 ml decant with shipping. That's not exactly true. It's not true, and I'm going to tell you why. If you get a Creed, yeah, Creed is like $400, but they sell flacons of it. So these guys will get a flacon dirt cheap, and they don't lower the price to the price per mil of the flacon. Same thing with Tom Ford. Anything that sells just massive bottles of it. So you got to be careful with that. Like, don't buy a Ventus and think like you're buying a decant of a $400 fragrance, because my whole flacon of Creed Aventus was $400. Like 8 ounces of it. Yeah, I like the little bit mini Zerjoff bottles. I like when a brand makes little bottles of it so you don't have to buy decants, or they make travel sizes. Um, Tom Ford sells travel sizes in Macy's. You can walk in right now and walk out with a Tom Ford fragrance. Like $30. Partials are awesome too. I don't buy them, but the one I do have, I'm glad I bought it because I'm not really a big fan of Parfums de Marley Galloway. So I bought a partial of it and I used a little bit of it, and I think what I got's good to go. And I have the bottle, and I definitely don't need any more. All right, you guys, I'm out of here. I just wanted to make a quick video about all the drama in the fragrance community. All right, I'm out of here. But be careful. You don't want to offend the alphas. The perfume alphas. You're not an alpha, goddammit.